It's pretty crazy to come to the realization that I've always known that keyword research was just a bunch of bullshit, all this SEO stuff to getting your business website to rank at the top of Google's search engine and that Google map listing. And now with the inclusion and the ever growing presence of AI, I've kind of always known this was going to take place. Keyword research is a bunch of bullcrap. And this is how you should really write your content for your website to make it sound more conversational and make it sound really good for your potential customers. What up there, guys? Is here once again with Get Busy LLC, helping local businesses, contractors, and home services understand the internet and show them how to use it to get their business found online and get them more business for their business, especially with Google and all this AI stuff that's starting to emerge. Now, in this video, I want to talk about keyword and keyword research. Now, when you get online and start studying SEO and all that stuff, especially in the years just years ago, one of the main things that you were taught was to do extensive keyword research so that you can implement all the keywords that you find some way, somehow, put it all on your website so you can get found for all sorts of different services, all kinds of different specific keywords, find keywords people aren't ranking for, that sort of thing. And it was a lot of work. It overcomplicated things. And quite honestly, even back then, when I first started to do all this SEO stuff, I thought it was a bunch of BS. I think it was just way too overcomplicated. No need for any of that stuff. And I always thought that your website and the way that you structure it and what you write on your website should be more conversational than it is keyword stuffing and adding pages and all this stuff that just overcomplicates the crap out of it. And now I find it kind of crazy to see all these SEO people, search engine optimization, website design, all of a sudden now, all of them are all starting to refer back and go back because of AI and AI taking over some of the search results now. Now they're all saying that keywords, all this keyword research and building out your website just based on keywords is the complete opposite. That you should be building out and structuring your website and the content on your website to be more conversational. What I've always believed to be true. So when I talked to contractors and home service businesses, things like that, when they asked me about how they should structure the content on their website, of course, there's some things that you still have to follow, right? You still have to make sure the title of your website is crystal clear as to the service that you provide in your local area with some of the sub headlines and some of the content you write. But I said, just have a conversation. It's like when you run into somebody that you don't know, that you haven't seen in a long time, and they ask you what you do for a living, you start telling them, right? Let's say, for example, that you're a concrete contractor here where I live in Paso Robles, California. And that person that you haven't seen in like 10 years, they ask you, hey, what do you do for a living? Hey, man, I do concrete services, concrete work here in Paso Robles. Right on. How long have you been doing it? Well, I haven't seen you in 10 years. I've been doing it for 8 years. Really? What kind of work do you do? Well, I do a lot of concrete. I do a lot of driveways. I do stamped work. I do some commercial work. I do decorative concrete work, that sort of thing. Well, how far off do you do all your work? Well, I do it here in this town over there, this town over here, right? That sort of conversation. That is what you write on your website. Just a normal everyday talking and just naturally write all of that stuff on your website. So when a person that doesn't know who you are, doesn't know anything about your business, runs into that website, they could get a clear understanding of what you do, where you provide the service, the specific services that you provide, your process, your goals, your beliefs, and how you conduct business, all of that stuff. Just place that on your website, and that's what will help your website to rank, and more specifically, your Google Business Profile, which that website feeds into to help push it towards the top of those search results. You see, part of the problems with all of this information online, all this SEO stuff, all the Google Business Profile ranking, all this stuff, in my opinion, I think there's a lot of people that just copy one another. They see what somebody's saying, another person's saying, that sort of thing, and they just regurgitate whatever anybody else is saying. So this is happening now too, where people are saying that keyword research and all this keywords optimization for your website is not as important as now, especially with the AI stuff. And me personally, I've always just kind of believed that, just because I always tell people that I tried to place myself as if I owned Google's search engine. What would I want? And first and foremost, I want my Google search engine, my Google business profiles. I want people to keep using those. And I want the customers that use my platform to have a good experience. So I'm going to be looking for websites that are more natural looking, more human like, that relate to a human being a lot more. And they're not trying to manipulate my system by stuffing the hell out of it with a bunch of keywords that don't make any sense just for the sake of trying to rank for everything. And much of the stuff that I do is, I mean, I'm in the trenches. I'm grinding out. I'm writing the content. I'm building page. I do that stuff, and I see what's working. I see what's not working, and I've noticed that things that climb up higher in the search results are from direct results of doing like a good structure of a website, talking naturally. Of course, there's a bunch of different factors like the backlinks to the website, the reviews to the Google business profile, how often you're optimizing pictures and adding content, all this stuff, all that stuff adds up. As far as keyword research is not as complicated as it's made out to be. It's actually quite simple. And I want to share with you guys an example just to prove my point and how you should kind of structure your website, the kind of keyword research you should be doing for your business. And it's actually going to be easier for you since you, the business owners, know way more about your business than some SEO companies, some guru you're going to hire, or anything like that. So it's going to be easier for you in your mind to structure the outline of your website is going to look. But let me share with you guys an example just to prove my point. So here's an example of a business that I'm trying to get into the top 3 pack of the rankings on the Google Map listing. It's for an asphalt paving contractor out in Denver. Now, this is not going to be an easy task. Denver is a very, very populated city. I think there's like 700,000 people there, something like that. Plus the surroundings, there's probably over 1 million people population. And there's probably dozens and dozens and dozens of paving companies, paving, surf sealing, asphalt, concrete, these types of things in that particular area. And so when I went out and structured these guys' website, what I did for keyword research is actually pretty simple. I just asked them what they did for their services. And fortunate for me too, I know a lot about the asphalt paving, the concrete, and this trucking industry. I come from that kind of background, so I know a lot of it. So it's a lot more easier for me. And so it was simple. He's an asphalt paving contractor. He does paving contractor services in Denver, northern Colorado, just like the page says right here. And they do it all. They do driveways, they do parking lots, they do road construction, they do sealing, they do striping, they do overlays, they do repairs, they do complete new installations of both driveways, they do new installations of new parking lots. I mean, they do it all. So it's easy to come up with the content. I'm not doing any really like hardcore keyword research other than making sure that they get found for these types of services: asphalt paving, paving company, asphalt contractor in Denver and that particular region. And more importantly, it's all for their Google business profile. So if you go on the website, the way I structure my websites, like I said, it's like a conversation with somebody. First of all, I tell the search engine exactly what this page is all about. And then the individual human being that runs into it is going to be pretty clear as day what they do. They're asphalt paving in Denver, northern Colorado. Pretty easy, right? Get professional asphalt paving in Denver from a team with decades of experience, friendly, fast, high quality services from a local crew that you can trust. That's exactly what they told me who they were, so I wrote that on the website. And we go in here, and this is why I always talk about on how I structure websites is I try to remind the customer why they were online in the first place, kind of jab them with the pain points. Why were they online? Why did they decide to pull up their phone and look for a paving company, paving contractor, driveway installation, that kind of thing? These are some questions to remind them, and this is who they are. This is what they believe in. This is the services they provide. You see what I mean? How easy it was for me to create the content. No need for going that keywords tool thing from Google or some of these SEO tools. None of that crap. Just write what's normal: asphalt driveways, parking lots, road construction, seal coating, repairs, striping, what makes them different, what they can expect when they reach out to this company. We'll put in some reviews, and that's pretty much it. And then as far as the pages are concerned, we do the same thing, right? So there's driveways, parking lots, road construction, seal coating. And then what we're also doing is adding subcategories. So as far as driveways, they do new driveways, they do overlays, they do resurfacing, they do repairs, they do seal coating. As far as parking lots, they do new installations, same thing, right? No need to overcomplicate things. So when you go to each individual page, for example, this one here, new asphalt driveway installations in Denver, pretty clear as day. We just talk about that as well. Let's do another random one here. Parking lot resurfacing. It's a common service. Asphalt parking lot resurfacing in Denver, Colorado, right? There's people that just want to resurface their parking lot. They mill it, put some tack on it, and resurface it. There you go. We build a page for that. So just in case somebody's looking for all that type of service, no need to do some deep down keyword research, right? Just having conversations on this website with a human being. So now I want to show you guys some of the results that's taken place since we started this website. I started on working on the Google Business profile, just working the whole thing to get this thing, get their business into that three pack of the Google search results. Now it's been approximately 9 weeks. We got the Google Business profile verified. It was a nightmare to get that thing going. It probably took us almost 6 weeks to get it going. They set up, they have a location, they got everything. For some reason, Google just kept denying it. We had to send them proof of the business license. We sent them a couple of utility bills. We waited about 8 days, and they finally verified it. So it's been live for approximately 9 weeks, so 2 months, 2 months and some change. And you're going to see when I type in asphalt paving in Denver, there's going to be tons and tons of businesses, right? Right here, it shows me. I think every one of these is 20. It was 20, 40, 60, something related to paving. Tons and tons of businesses, right? So when I type in asphalt paving in Denver, well, these are the top three. This is where we want to get into. We click on more businesses, and I just want to see where they stand right now as we speak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're in the number 10 spot, slowly working up the rankings. Again, they did not exist at all. And when they first got in, they were like number 60. So we're making progress because, like I said, Google's reading all the information on the website. We're doing additional things as well, building up citations, stuff that I talk about on this channel to get them up higher. So now let's do the other keyword we're trying to get found for, paving company in Denver. Like I said, we're not overcomplicating things. What do people look for, right? Paving company Denver. You're going to see, let's take a look where they're ranking there for that keyword there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 8. So hopefully here in another month, we can get them into that three pack. Competition wise, I don't know. Some of these guys have some good reviews, but they are basically, they are a kick-ass company. I've seen the work they do, the quality they do, the amount of jobs that they do. They really are badass companies. So it's my job to prove to Google that they are a badass company there in Denver and push them into that three pack of the Google search results. What I also like to check is this free tool called freelocalrankingchecker.com. I'll leave a link in the description. You guys can check it out. It's an awesome little tool I found. But what it does, it just mimics my location. So I just typed in the keyword asphalt paving, right? And I put Denver, and it's going to show me what shows up for that search in that specific area. So I click number 1 here. And you're going to see their listings already get pushed in there in that particular area. And as I go out further, it's not going to have that major ranking on there, but it is starting to show up already. Let's say paving company in that same location. Let's see where they show up. See, they don't show up, but this will tell me where they show up for that keyword in this specific location. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So they're not too far off. It's because it's already making some progress, and I'm working my magic, doing everything that I know to help push that business towards the top of the search results. The great thing about these organics and the map listings, it'll way faster than those stupid top 10 blue links you'll see on a first page that nobody's going to anymore. So you're basically just wasting your time if you're trying to do SEO for that crap. So now I want to give you like an inside look at see the results that they're getting, right? So this is, like I said, it's been about 2 months. So right here, you're going to see the number of calls that they got in that first month was 11. But there you go, 17 calls. That's 17 leads they got just from that Google Business profile. And that's what this means is calls. That means people went on their phone, typed in, paving company or something like that. They saw their listing and just hit that call button, right? They didn't even visit the website. This is how strong, how great this Google Business profile is. But your website does play a huge role in pushing that bastard to go towards the top. Let's take a look at the website clicks. 36 last month, 29 last month. This is going to be a work in progress. And then it's going to tell you some information too. People look them up by name, asphalt. As time goes on, see asphalt company near me, asphalt contractor. There's all the keywords you need. But you see what I mean? We didn't do any research. We didn't do any of that. I just talked to them. Tell me what you do, man. What do you do for a living? And tell me all the services you provide. We'll just put that on the website in a natural conversational tone. Boom. There you go. And you start to get your business discovered online. So there you go with all this keyword optimization and all that stuff for your business website and your business overall. The main takeaway here is it's just not overcomplicated. Nobody knows your business better than you. If you're in the concrete industry, you know all about your industry. If you're, let's say, an ADU unit builder out in the Bay Area, you know all about the things that you need to do to get that done. If you're a tree service company in Santa Barbara, California, you know all the services you provide, all the things people look for. So just structure your website accordingly to the services you provide. It's not super complicated. You guys could use the template that I have online. Use that to format the way you structure your website if you don't have one. And if you do have one, how to kind of outline it and see how it should be structured so that it best serves your customers, and you connect it to your Google Business profile, then it'll help push that listing towards the top. And you can check out all that stuff right here. I have in the descriptions below. You have a link to my group where I do have that template and everything that I show and everything that I do to help local businesses get their business to the top of the Google Business profile, where this is where you need to be nowadays because nobody else is going to anything in the organic listings and things like that. And ultimately, what Google's looking for, this is what I tell contractors, it's looking for the three best service providers for a particular service in any given town. Are you one of those best service providers for that particular service? If you are, all you have to do is prove it to Google. Google's not just going to allow some scrub or some scumbag who just got into business, doesn't know anything about your industry, and is going to hack its way into that 3-pack of Google. It's just not going to happen. So if you're a badass business owner, just prove it to Google. If you guys need some help with that, I'm here to help. Like I said, I have my group right there. If you guys want to book a call with me, I can show you guys how I can take a look at your business, see what you need. In that link, there should be a book for call on there as well. If you want to talk to me and see what we can do for your business and your location and your Google Business profile to get you ranking towards the top. And if you happen to have more than one Google Business profile, there's ways to use just that same website and use it for multiple locations to get both those listings to rank up high in the Google search results. As a matter of fact, I made a video talking about that right here. You can check that out right there. And that's all I got for you guys today. Until next time.